Hi, my name's Stephen Phillips. I'm a science teacher at Thurfield School in Leatherhead, Surrey in the United Kingdom. Having done it for 3 years, or my third year as part of the project, I think it's hugely exciting and very worth other teachers trying to do it more, as we were trying to understand what we were trying to achieve through the SAILS project. But 3 years into it, I feel much more confident and feel that the students get a huge amount out of the project. The SAILS and the inquiry-based learning really puts the students in the driving seat, and when you put them into their groups and you highlight that it is not the final answer that you're concentrating on and the process of getting to an answer, the group work and the resilience and the enthusiasm of the students increases. I think initially when we started it was difficult to decide what we were trying to get out of the project. So we understood the idea of inquiry, but we came to it as adults, as opposed to thinking what is it that we're trying to enable the students to be able to do better. And so when you were setting up an inquiry-based project, we were inadvertently putting limitations on what the students could study, how they would go about performing the experiment, and what questions they may want to ask. I think now, much more confident about putting a range of equipment out for them to pick and choose the question based on the content that we're looking at. And because they have control in terms of the question, they're engaging much more, and it's much more dynamic classroom. I think the students were very scared to start with, especially in some of the larger inquiries, say for example photosynthesis, where the question that was set up was what do you want to find out about photosynthesis? And whilst they're fearful that they should be looking for a particular way of doing things, they've really got a huge amount of sort of drive back by looking at different concepts that they've derived themselves. The SAILS project's enabled us to come and take time out of lessons with like-minded scientists, and it's been brilliant to see a group of individuals solve the problems as teachers by discussing with one another, sharing their failures as well as their successes. And I think it's really important to feed off your colleagues and to be honest and open, and to set up an inquiry where the students went completely the wrong direction, but they still did it through the framework that SAILS has given us. And so although they didn't perhaps go in the direction you were expecting, and perhaps time had to be taken to draw them back, you're not the only one, you're not alone, and all of that time is still valuable. I think the key difference is you being brave as a teacher to simply say you are finding something out. So the students are finding out through experimentation, through questioning, through discussion, science. They're actually doing science. And so the lessons are different in that you set them up to be open. You have to be open-minded. You have to let the lesson take its own pathway through, and you're there just tweaking, just helping a group who's got stuck, rather than really being this huge driving force to a right answer.